What were you struggling with the most prior to joining?
Definitely a lot comes like tracking macros. I think as we mentioned back in November, I've been working out on my own since 2021 and I never always kept consistently checking on my macros. So this was really the first step, which really brought a big change to my life.
So you were already like exercising, working out prior, but the nutrition side of things was kind of one of like your
Correct.
bottlenecks.
Correct.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people go wrong, right? It's like including myself, like I love working out, it's the fun parts, but when it comes to actually educating yourself on what to eat, how much to eat, that's often where a lot of people go wrong, right? So yeah, I'm glad to hear that we kind of fixed that for you. And so before joining the program, were you skeptical at all about anything before joining?
A little bit, yeah. I think it come to like, first timers. Like I never had a trainer, so this is kind of all new to me. So knowing to follow which procedures, the plan was all new to me to take in at the time.
Yeah, and what specifically were you like skeptical about? Was it about how is this going to work? Is this going to be like Skype workouts, or what was kind of going through your head?
Yeah, I thought about more of like the online communication and regarding like the check-ins. That was all new to me, which I had no idea how that worked.
And overall, would you say the experience with like the check-ins and communication went well for you, or
They did, yes.
any feedback specifically on that, or was it pretty smooth for you?
It was pretty smooth.
Awesome, awesome. And then obviously, as you were going throughout the program, right, so you got more educated on nutrition, you were working out, doing your check-ins. What would you say was your biggest breakthrough that you've experienced throughout the entire program?
I say taking more steps in my day, which something I've never done before. I usually would just work out. I never do cardio because a lot of friends have said that cardio kills gains. I never knew that until like I heard people from you and others like, yeah, it's important to maintain your steps.
Okay, so prior you weren't really keeping track of your steps either.
No.
Do you keep track of them on your phone or on like a watch?
I keep track of them on my phone and my watch, specifically with my Fitness Pal.
Yeah, having like a good kind of gauge of your step counts can obviously help identify how many calories you're burning or roughly, and you can also kind of see your activity level, right? Because a lot of people will kind of go through their day, and if they're not losing weight, like, why am I not losing weight? But then if they're not keeping track of their steps, they could very well just be only getting a couple thousand steps in and burning very minimal calories, right? So keeping that step counts nice and high will ensure that you burn more calories. So hopefully you can continue on with that habit as well. Did you kind of find a good routine with getting your steps in, or how did you kind of manage to get in your steps?
So I usually would rely on my job. So I work at a retail job. So of course I'm walking around the store a lot. So that helps maintain my steps. But not only that, like I like to take at least like a couple 4 or 5 thousand steps around campus at where I study at. So
I love how you kind of view treating your job as, yes, obviously you're working, but then you also kind of view it as, hey, this is a great opportunity for me to get my steps in. I remember when I used to work at Walmart, I was working like overnight shifts and I had to like go back and forth from like the freezer aisle to the back room. And I got like 10,000 steps during a single shift, right? So you can kind of view your working environment as like, hey, extra opportunity for me to do cardios. And especially obviously going to school, going to campus is a great way to get in your steps too. So during the program, Brian, what were kind of like your specific results that you maybe noticed within your body and then also like on the scale and in the gym? What were kind of like the overall results?
I guess like overall results, like when I first started, I noticed like, yeah, there was belly fat that I had and I shredded a good amount of it during it. So I'd say the biggest difference is like losing that percentage of body fat.
Okay, then anything in specific when it comes to maybe your performance in the gym, your strength, maybe your mindset too, anything else you noticed there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely bench press. I've gotten better with on bench pressing. Like I've started to up the weight over time by like 10 to 15 pounds more than I usually would. And I
Nice.
was able to be consistent going on and taking a deload break in 1 week. So it has
Awesome.
definitely helped out a lot.
And now, obviously, I know that you're now no longer a student, but you were a student during this program, right? And so, who would you recommend this program to, or who do you think this will be a good fit for?
Probably a person who's working full time essentially. Because most people usually run through their schedules differently. So, the way how your program helped me a lot really aligned with my schedule pretty well.
So, you would recommend this is someone who is maybe tight on time, has
Correct. Yeah.
maybe poor time management skills, and kind of wants to fit their fitness into their busy life. Is that
Correct.
somewhat?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.